Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you. So see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. So this listener says, "Good morning, gents. I'm in a spot of trouble. I met a person I'm really into, but she is in a committed relationship. She says they're on the outs and that if I'm patient with her, we can be together. But she doesn't want to cheat. She's been she has been cheated on in the past, and doesn't want to do that to someone else. I understand she's trying to be a good person, but she has intentions to leave and get with me anyway. So does that not trump her not cheating anyway? I'm not sure how long I can give it before I feel like I'm being strung along as a bit of fun for her. Am I a selfish human being for trying to split this relationship up?"
I don't
would
think you're a
say
selfish person.
no.
I think you're being sold a dream a little bit.
Yeah.
This happens a lot. This happens a lot when someone's in a committed relationship, especially if they're married or something. Like if someone's in a relationship and they're sharing a house with someone or married with someone, it's a lot of the time more complicated to like end things than just to end things.
Yeah.
If you're like in a mortgage together, whatever. So I think people ride that out and try and play the best of both worlds as long as possible. If this girl has not actually physically done any cheating, then I commend her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as the listener said, like the intentions are there that she's gonna move on with this guy. And if I was the husband or the boyfriend of that girl, I would be really hurt to find that out. So I think she kind of needs to be urged to make a decision one way or the other for everyone's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, well done for her not for cheating, because yes, it is we've said before in a previous episodes we've had someone being cheated on. It's not nice.
No.
And when she does come to it, if she's going to break up with him, it's much easier to be like, I haven't cheated on you, and to be completely clear, and that's not a problem.
I think for her own self-esteem as well, like her mental health will be going through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't push on that anymore, but you definitely need to give her some sort of like time frame or stuff like that, because when you've been in a long relationship, you get comfortable, right? And having that routine messed up with, whether you don't like to be in or not, is a hard thing to get out of.
Yeah.
So you do need a push, and whether she realizes or not, you are being strung along a little bit. So you need an end date, and you need to stick to that sort of thing. You could say to her like, look, I understand it's difficult, but I'm not gonna wait around forever, even though I would like to be with you.
Yeah.
And just say, you've got, depending on the situation, you can give her so many months or whatever, and just say, look, if you're not going to do it by then I'm going to have to move on. She's not like the only one in the entire world. That's what you feel like, right? Like, this woman likes you, and you're like, oh, I like her too, and I can be with her because she wants to be with me. But you are being strung along.
Yeah, you're being strung along, and I think like when you get smitten for someone, like it's hard to see outside of that bubble.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing this other guy as a roadblock at the minute, but he's none of the wiser. So in this situation, he's just as much a victim as you are in it. And the only difference is that the full scope of the situation.
Yeah.
Where it's now entirely on this woman's shoulders to make a decision what she needs to do, and you need to make that clear and just say, I'm not waiting around. Like, you need to either tell him or don't tell him. If you don't tell him, then I'm moving on. And just let her make a decision. I think, out of experience from like other people's relationships, not my own, because obviously I've been in a committed relationship for a long time, but I think from knowing people, how people react to things like this, I think this girl probably is going to stay with the guy she's with.
I think as well, you got to realize is that how many people that come out of a committed relationship want to jump straight into another one.
Yeah.
Like if she breaks up with someone she's been with for a long time, and Jamie says like mortgage and things like that, that's gonna be one hell of a fucking ride.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
most people want to give it a break and be. Don't get me wrong, there are people I've known that go from one relationship to another. Whether I feel it's healthy or not is another question, but that's another thing you got to think of. Like if she breaks up with him and then she sleeps with you, what happens if she realizes that she wants to be single for a little bit?
What happens if she realizes the grass isn't greener on the other side?
Yeah.
I
So
think
it's
there's so many variables in it where I think
mm,
you could end up getting hurt here, and I think, well, the partner is going to end up getting hurt one way or the other.
and you've got to be in the middle of that as well. Like if you
Yeah,
start
that's a
dating
lot
her
of
in that,
guilt. I
yeah,
feel.
he starts seeing you two out with each other, and like that's a lot. I don't know. Like for me, it wouldn't be worth it. I'd just be like, there's too much drama, too much what ifs, and uproaring and arguments and dates being broke up because she has to go and sort things out. And
I just feel as though it's not a good way a healthy way to start a relationship with anyone in general, because it's just like you're not actually going to be getting to know each other on a one-to-one level, because there's going to be just a situation about every situation.
mm,
It's not going to be straightforward. And I know people do it. Does, like, I'm not saying it wouldn't work, because people have done it,
yeah,
but I think you're putting a lot of unneeded stress and stuff like that on an early relationship, which doesn't necessarily have the legs for it yet.
mm. I think as well, like it's good not to be cheating, but then I think to myself, like relationships need a physical side, and if you're say you've already been talking to her for what, say we'll say 2 months or something like that,
Mm.
and she won't break up for another 2 months. That's 4 months of you guys been talking and not having sex, which then makes the feelings of more brothers and sisters than
Yeah, it becomes a little bit more of a friendship.
yeah, you've been helping her through something that has been really tough, and the feelings are different that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yes, it's good not to cheat, but sometimes the cheating is what keeps the fire and keeps her wanting to break up with him.
Yeah, it almost keeps it feeling a bit more like, oh, I'm doing something
I'm
naughty type
naughty and
situation.
yeah. But we don't condone cheaters here.
No.
um, it's a hard one. It really is. I think for the answer of your email, the best thing you do is explain to her the situation, say you understand, and it's going to be difficult, but you can't wait around and give her like a time frame. She may not like it, but you need something to know there's an end date, and then you can either move on or stay.
I think she thinks she's doing the right thing by not acting on it,
Mm.
but she's also not acting on like what's going on with you and her. So
Yeah,
it's like something needs to give.
yeah.
This weird limbo is not going to be able to be sustainable for everyone.
No. Like I said, the longer you leave it, the feelings change. Maybe not with
Yeah.
you, but I can tell you right now, probably definitely with her. So there's just some things to like think about. Obviously, we try and look at it from as many angles as we possibly can with the time we've given you. But obviously, we're hoping you two end up together. Because that's why you've emailed in, right? Like we don't take your email and just be like, no, it's never happening. But yeah, we just want you to think about the bigger picture of at the minute it's all sort of like, oh, what could be and lusty and
Yeah.
flirty and stuff like that. But there are some definite changes that she's going to have in her life that, you know, could end up ending what's going on.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
just think about it, and hopefully your next email will be she's broken up and you two are together, and that'd be a better email for us.